Hello, my name is Maria Isabel. I am currently a fourth year clinical psychology PhD student. Back in 2018 to 2019, I am proud to have been a Live Your Dream Award honoree. It's been a few years since then. It's been about 6 years. And looking back, I see how much I was supported by Soroptimists, and I was glad to have met them through Project Self-Sufficiency. First, Project Self-Sufficiency seemed to have been a lie. Like it was too good to be true. But thanks to people providing testimonies like I am right now, is what made me feel more comfortable applying because other parents were saying their stories and saying the impact that it had on them. And in my heart, in my mind, I was like, there's no way they're lying. This is true. Like I should take that step forward to apply and see what happens, see how this supports me. At the time, I was going back from my third year at UC Irvine. I had to do online classes during my second year because that's the year that I was going to give birth to my son. I had also been on the wait list for family housing, childcare. So it was scary going back to Irvine by myself. My family's from the Central Valley, so they were very far to be able to help me. So going back to have been able to go back with that support from PSS, it was everything to me at the time. I wasn't going to be alone. I had my friends, of course, but at the end of the day, they were also college students like me. They weren't parents. They didn't understand or know how to support me as more than they already were. So Project Self-Sufficiency helped to be that for me since I didn't have my family there with me. So as I was with Project Self-Sufficiency, eventually they tell us about Soroptimist of Huntington Beach. And it's like more blessings. Like I already feel so blessed. And then to have more opportunities, it meant everything. Like there's so many people that care about student parents and wanted to provide that support. And in my head at the time, it was like, well, this organization like is providing not only financial support, but also like emotional support, professional development opportunities. If they're providing like these other opportunities, they're probably like them as well. So I was able to like provide that sense of security and applying for them as well. And I'm glad that they started the Huntington Beach one because when you apply for Soroptimist, you see that there's a lot of different other clubs. But I remember that Project Health Efficiency had said Huntington Beach specifically. So that's the one I applied to. And I am so grateful I did. Not to say anything about the other Soroptimist clubs, but from what I heard about awardees is like it was mostly just the scholarship check and they never heard from them again. With Huntington Beach, I mean, I'm telling you, it's 6 years now and I'm still here with Terry. I'm still with Leslie and all other awardees to this day that we stay in contact. So it's like I love to have had chosen Huntington Beach to be the club that I was applying with. If I wouldn't have this continued support that I have now. The love is everything because it reminds me of when I first started with them and they believed in me, not only in me, but they knew that my son was in good hands and that he would grow up to see what I was doing for him. And not only that, but the support system around me. Like my mommy is loved, my mommy is taken care of. Like there's so many people that believe in my mommy. And that was meant the world to me more than all the financial support that was provided could have been. I mean, of course, it was very net needed and helped me to become more financially self-sufficient, but you can't put a price on love. So looking back, I'd say that was like the biggest impact I had, becoming a Soroptimist Live Your Dream Awardee. As time went on, I was nominated for more opportunities to get more awards. And then a year later, I was adopted to continue providing more support for another year, which was my last year at UC Irvine. And I remember during that year, I also had to renew my DACA, and Soroptimist came through to renew it so that I can continue being here legally. And then later on at the end of the year, I was going to my first conference that was going to be a national one. And I was like, oh my goodness, like how it's my first acceptance for a national conference, but I can't afford it. And again, Soroptimist came through with being able to support me with some travel funding to be able to go to my first conference. And it was the best experience. Being able to meet a new city. Washington, D.C. was my first place that I got to know besides California. And to now, I mean, after that, once I got into the PhD program, I was able to go into more conferences, so I've met more places, which is a dream come true. Um, and it's not only Soroptimist that's been there. After I feel like that was like the platform that then led me to actually believe in myself, to be able to apply to other scholarships, other opportunities, and knowing like I have what it takes because at first, like, you're so confused on how you're going to make it, whether you have what it takes. And this is the group of ladies that tell you and show you you have what it takes. And not only that, but they also put you around other women with the same experiences, similar experiences, and you get to hear each other's. We had this day of empowerment, which like I still remember to this day as well, where we went, they pampered us, like they put makeup on us, they did our hair, they took us to be able to choose some clothes. They gave us like this well, it was like a fake check or a voucher. And you gave it they're at the assistance league and they would use that as your transaction for the clothes that you were getting. And I mean, I still have some of those clothes to this day, and I still use them. Like I'm telling you, like there's so many little things that like you look back and they're still with you to this day. And that's what that day like reminds me of. Not only like the pampering experience, and the opportunity to get more professional clothing, but after that, all of us shared our story. All of us were able to relate to one another, or even be impacted in ways that we didn't know we needed to hear to be able to continue on in our journeys. I think it also provided that space of healing for so many of us that probably didn't share some of the parts of ourselves with others. And that was the first time where you felt safe and were able to begin that healing journey. It definitely was a day of empowerment. And I think being in that space has allowed me to feel more comfortable with sharing my story. I think at first it's harder for you to share your story for the first time, but since then, you can feel when you're in an environment that is supportive of you and wants to be there for you. So I think that's what it's allowed me to be able to share more in other spaces. Since then, eventually here in the PhD program after my first year, uh, I then got nominated to be a student parent advisor for Ascend at the Aspen Institute. And through there, they've also had me share my story. And with time, then I was able to be in two short films and share more about me. And I believe having had those opportunities when I was an undergrad to be in a safe space and and talk about myself and like really own who I am, like own my power. That is something that I remember before even applying to the PhD program. I was doing a mock interview and this was a graduate student already. She was also in the same lab that I was in under the same mentor, Dr. Castellanos. And that's something she told me. She was like, you need to own your power more. And I didn't know I wasn't owning my power. She was like, if since I sense you holding yourself back when you shouldn't be holding yourself back, like show the world who you are. And I have since then. But if it wasn't for all these wonderful people, all these individuals throughout my journey that collectively like really had me believe, own your power and show who you are, I don't think I'd be here to this day, having accomplished all I have.